everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den and welcome to another Wowza Wednesday. Today I have a card which you can't see very well like this. When it's laying down it's like this. It's like this on the side so you can see how it goes. This was my prototype. It was a card that was inspired by Louise from Iced Images, and I actually really liked it. She did hers with a different shape front on here, and hers is a 7x5 while mine is a regular size card, which is 4 1/8 by 5 7/8, which will fit into a regular envelope. Oops. So this is called a double tent fold card, and I'm going to show you how I made my version. And I hope that I have done Louise's version justice by doing this. Okay, so let me pop this on one side for a moment, and I will show you what I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be using something that's retired. Oh, and I forgot to bring over the other stamp set, but that doesn't matter. It was a retired one as well, called Butterfly Brilliance, only because I wanted one of the dies for the butterflies out of that. I'm using this set here called Feathered Fun, and I'm using these birds here, and I'm also using the twigs or whatever they sit on, and I've already done mine and cut them out because they have to be fussy cut out, so I've actually already done those. So I've stamped those with Memento Black, and I have coloured those with my blend pens. This one was done with oh, what's the colour? Lemon Lime Twist and Granny Apple Green, and this one was done with Balmy Blues. So, and the twig I did with, oh gosh, I can't think of what it's called. Pecan Pie. Okay, so I've done that bit there, and I've also cut out those butterflies which are just here like this, because this one I'm going to be it's birds and butterflies. So let's pop that out of the way for a minute. I've also got out of Perennial Posts, I think it's called, Sending Love and Best Wishes, and I'm also using, and these are current, these are Greetings from All for All Mix and Match ephemera pack. Ephemera, look, I'm getting good at saying that properly. Okay, so this is what you're going to need. So I'm going to go through what I've got here. So for my main card, I'm going to need a piece that measures 5 7/8 by 8 1/4. And then for my front card, I'm needing a piece that measures 3 inches by 6 inches. And this one's my base piece. I've put a B on there so you can just see that, because this piece is 5 7/8 by 8 inches. So that's just that tiny little bit smaller than the other one. Then for my layers, I'm going to need 2 layers, one for this front here and for the back of the card here, because that's where you do your writing. And they both measure 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. And then I'm going to need a piece of DSP. Now this is out of a pack, and I'm using this side. I can't remember the name of the pack for this, but it's current. So it's current when this goes live. Let's put it that way. So this measures 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. And then you're going to need a white one for the back for your writing panel, which measures the same, 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. For my layers on this front piece here, you're going to need a piece that measures 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 and a piece of DSP that measures 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. For these layers in here, because it just looks right with something in there, they are 5 5/8 by 3/4 of an inch, and you'll need 2 of those. And then 2 pieces of Designer Series paper that measure 5 3/8 by 1/2 an inch. Now that's my saying, which I've got to go on the front, which is Best Wishes. So let's pop that out of the way. Let's pop that card over there, and those over there, and let's do all our scoring. Have I got all pieces there? Yes, all 3 pieces there. All right. So we'll score all of these in order. Oops, using our scoreboard. Hang on, let's move that out of the way so I can get in here. There we go. Alright, for our main card, which is our piece that measures 5 and 7/8 by 8 1/4, and just double check it if you've got the same colour as like I'm going, like for the 3 pieces, that you've got the 8 1/4, not the 8-inch piece. And this piece is going to be scored at 4 1/8 on that long side, just like a regular card would be, and remembering to use that small ball. Okay, then for my other card, which is my 3 inches by 6 inches, we're going to score this one at the 3-inch mark. Now, if you wanted to do like a circle or a hexagon or oval, then adjust this to what you need and then score it and then cut it out with your dies, so that you fold it in half like so that your die just hangs off the edge, so that it will go over like as a tent fold like that. Okay, and then our other piece, which is our base piece, which you will measure now, score at 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches, 6 inches, and 7 inches. So we go through that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now if you're like me and you're not sure, put your little B on there so you know that's your base piece, because you can use your eraser just to remove that afterwards. Okay, so you've now scored all your pieces, so let's pop them on one side and pop this board away. And we'll bring these all in and fold and burnish them all. So we're going to fold and burnish our small one, which are 3 by 6, so that now it's a 3 by 3, and pop that on one side. This is our main card, which is the 5 7/8 by 8 1/4, which now is a regular size card, which is 5 7/8 by 4 1/8. And then we have our piece with all our diagonals on it, all of our score lines on it. And we're going to start by folding as a mountain fold. So it's mountain, valley, mountain, and making sure as you go that it stays nice and even on the sides. Valley, mountain, valley, and we'll pop that one down there, and finishing with a mountain. So it starts and finishes with a mountain. So we're going to go through and we're going to fold and burnish all of these again, so that they're nice and tight. And we'll do that on both sides, so that they are really nicely folded. Okay, so once you've done that, you can see that you need yours to be with a mountain fold at each end. Okay, so we've done that piece. So let's get on to our main card here, and we're going to do our layers for our main card, for our front and back. It's easier to do this before we assemble it, mainly for the reason that it's easier. So this was the one for the back, and that's the one for the front, which means that these outside pieces, these 2 layers here, are 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, with our 2 DSP and our white layer, which are 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. Ugh, I spat then. That's not very good, is it? So I'm going to start by just stamping my back layer with my words, so that they take for a few minutes just to dry. Let me line that up a bit better today. My eyes are a bit wonky, and the weather's really wonky outside too. It is so wet. Look, I just got that all over my thumb. Let's start again. Okay. I'm going to pop that into the middle like so. and it's wonky anyway. Alright, so that's all the stamping I'm going to do. So I'm going to pop that one on one side so that can just dry for a second, and I'm going to glue this one down. As you can see, this paper is really pretty on both sides, but I wanted my birds and my butterflies to stand out, so that is why I'm actually using the other side. I can't see that very well. That's really busy paper to the point where I can't see my glue on there very well. Okay, so that's that one done. That's dry now, so let's pop this one on here. Isn't that silly? Like on this white one I can see that really well. On the one with a print on it I have trouble seeing it. Okay, so we're going to pop one of these on the front and one of them on the back, so it doesn't matter which one is which at the present time. Come on, glue. There we go. I'm going to lay that flat because it's just easier. I'm going to pop that one onto the back of the card. So the inside of the card is going to be free because we won't see the inside, and then the other one on the front. Now if you've got a directional paper, make sure that you have your design in the landscape, as you'll find that just so much looks better. Now I could have done that way, the print, because there is no right or wrong, but I wanted them to go downwards like so. So that's our main part of our card. Let's pop that out of the way for a minute. Let's do the little card, and this time we've just got 2 panels. Oh, that's got a funny mark on that bit. That's okay, we've got the other side, and we're going to pop one of this on here, which is this is our 6 by 3, which is really now going to be a 3 by 3 card, along with our 2 3/4 inch square and our 2 1/2 inch square for our DSP, and that's splurted out the bottom. Okay, so making sure that your fold is at the top of the card, again the same as it is on your main card piece. We'll pop that onto there like so. And while we're doing that, we're going to do our 2 little panels that are 5 5/8 by 3/4 of an inch and 5 3/8 by 1/2 inch. So we're going to glue those as well, so that we can just glue the whole lot together, and it will come together very quickly, this card, in the end. Oops. I was going to do this as a Christmas card, but I decided against it, as I wanted to use these birds again. Okay, so we've got all our pieces all glued now. So we've got our main card, our front card, and our 2 panels all done. And we've got our base here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to glue these all onto these. So we're going to start with our main card and our base card. And it doesn't matter whether you start at the left or the right, as long as you remember that the other one goes the other way. And we're going to put glue on this section here, on the first mountain section. We're going to open this card and pop this along that edge so that it lines up. Oops, let's get that lined up along the bottom and both sides of the card. So this is now on the inside of the card. This piece, this base piece is now on the inside of that card. Okay, and then we're going to stand this up like this so we can see it. I'll do it this way, it's easier. And we're going to miss this one here. You've got this one, you've put it on. So we've got our valley, and we're going to now put glue. Let's move get that rubbish off my finger. On this mountain here, this one here. Let's use that. This part of the mountain. Oh, that you can't see that. So we've got valley, mountain, and we're going to put it on this side of the mountain here. So if we fold that flat, so we've got valley, and we come back to the mountain fold here. We're going to put glue onto this section here of the card. And we're going to bring that one over and close it down on top of it. Making sure that it's still nice and even along the bottoms. And this was going to fold up because we don't want it to be not be able to fold up. So make sure that it doesn't go over that score line. And we can then pop that down nice and tightly. We can turn it over and we can make sure that it's nice and tight down this side too. Okay, so we've now got our first one done with our valley fold down here. And I've got a little bit of glue just there, so I'll just make sure that's not staying there. Okay, so we've got our main part done, and we've still got two more mountains here. So what we're going to do next is we're actually going to lay this down flat, and we're going to pop these pieces on. We're going to put one on the front, and we're going to then put the next one, not in the next section, but the other one. So on both of these mountain pieces, we're going to pop one of these. That wasn't very clever, was it? So we're not miss the first, the second, and we're going to put it on the third section. Then we're going to do the other one. And we're going to pop this one on the first section. Like so. So we now have on the front pieces here, we've got one piece, and then you'll find the larger one. So we've got small, small, large. So let's pop that just there for a minute, and now we can pop this card onto here. So the best way to do this is actually to turn it over and open it up and work out which is where the middle of the card is, right, from there to there. So we know that what this card is, and if you're happy with that, that's about 1.5 inches, and that's about just under, so about there, like so. You can just pop a line down the side if you want, just so you can see, and then draw a line across the top there, like so, so that you know to put glue in just that section there. So I've got these tiny little marks there, so I know where this is going, and we're going to pop the glue onto the front piece of this. Now I won't go as high as that mark, but we're then going to pop this piece onto the front of the card between our other two marks. So, and making sure that it's lined up with the bottom of the card. And I can see my marks just there. Lining it up along that bottom edge, because that's where we need it to be lined up, and when you turn it over you can see that it's lined up nicely along that edge. So we'll give that a bit of a squish down. If those marks are showing, that's easy. You just get your eraser and remove those marks. There we go. There we go. Okay, so once we're happy with that one, we're then going to pop this one down here. So I'm just going to, again, I'm just going to mark this just inside those little marks. So I know that I need to put glue on just that whole section between those marks. Okay, and then when we pop that over, just making sure that it doesn't go over that score line again. And we're happy with that. We can give that a good press down along the top again. Whoops, I don't know what went on the floor just then. Something went. And we now have our main card. Alright, so let me put my pin in my glue because of the weather is so yucky, it's weird. And we will get on to decorating our card. Now I forgot to bring over some embellishments, so when I photograph this, you'll see all the embellishments on it. So this is my main card. I'm going to put my little birds on the front here. So I'm going to use some dimensionals to pop them onto. And I'm going to use just half of one, so I'm going to cut a couple in half to put. That wasn't very clever, was it? That didn't come off with that half on there. There. I've got another one that I cut in half as well, so let's get the piece off the top. Oh gosh, that one didn't cut in half very well, did it? There we go. Half of the tiny dimensionals, of the small ones, the minis. Okay, that way I know that my little branches are not going to go funny. Oh my goodness, am I having fun here or what? Alright, oh, over there. Let's put my birds on the front. They need to be sort of central. You can put anything you like on these. I reckon this would look lovely as a Christmas card. So there's my birds on the front of my card. I'm going to put my best wishes up here. So I'm going to use another couple of dimensionals. And put a couple of small ones on this other half. Just throw them straight in the bin. And we can pop that up there like that, making sure it's in the middle. And it will show when it's standing up because of the fact that it sits away from each other, so it will show. And then I'm going to put my butterflies, one either side, just here and here. So let's use a couple more of these smaller dimensionals. And put a butterfly here, making sure it doesn't go over the top or the side, because we want it to be able to go into an envelope. So okay, so that is our card. What do you think? Now let me see if I can put it on an angle where you can actually see it. Alright, so that's our card. I've got to put some embellishments on it, but I didn't bring any over, and I'm not going to mess around going and getting some. Actually, I've got some on the table here. What am I talking about? Some little hearts. So let's put these little hearts. I've got little gold hearts here. Silver hearts, rather. So I'm going to put some of these on here. So I'm going to put some of these little ones. Come on. One here. These are not stamping up, so please don't ask me. These were in my mum's stash. I was doing a little bit of cleaning out the other day. That's the reason why they're out. So that's 4. So I'm going to put one of this medium size one down in the bottom here. So there you go. That is all done with the embellishments on there. So what do you think? I actually like those little embellishments with the hearts on it. That looks, because of these look like little lovebirds here in the front. I think that's really beautiful. So what do you think? If you've enjoyed today's card, and this is the Wowza Wednesday for July 2025, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and if you subscribe, that way you won't miss any other projects that I do. And I will see you all again on Sunday with another project. And I hope you're enjoying this. So there's my original one. That's my version. Thanks, Louise, for the inspiration to make this card. And I will see you all soon. Bye for now.